Now that you have heard more about the benefits of breastfeeding, you will hopefully renew and expand your efforts to support your breastfeeding families. The next slides will discuss 10 steps that centers can take to be more breastfeeding friendly. These recommendations are adapted from 10 steps developed by the Carolina Global Breastfeeding Institute to complement similar steps recommended for hospital settings. They are included with references in the handout entitled Breastfeeding and Childcare: What Childcare Centers Can Do.
The first step in becoming breastfeeding friendly is to make a long-term commitment to supporting breastfeeding. Ideally, an interested staff member is designated to be in charge of the effort and enthusiastically motivate other staff members. This leader may need to educate other staff members, and she will need to sustain the initiative over the long term. The center should have a written policy about its commitment to support breastfeeding. The policy should contain statements like those outlined in the handout, "Our center supports breastfeeding." A sample center breastfeeding policy is also included in the handouts. All staff members should understand the policy, and new parents should be given a copy of it upon enrollment.
All staff should be educated about the benefits and superiority of mother's milk, the safest alternative formula, normal infant feeding patterns, bottle feeding techniques, and the gradual introduction of age-appropriate solids.
One of the best opportunities for supporting breastfeeding is when a mother is touring the center before she ever delivers her newborn baby. She may still be contemplating whether or not she will breastfeed. Knowing that her childcare provider values the benefits of breast milk and will support her decision may boost her confidence about choosing to breastfeed. Discuss how and where your center will store frozen or refrigerated expressed human milk. Let new moms know that your center wants to develop an individualized feeding plan for each infant, which supports nursing directly at the breast when mom is available. Display educational materials about breastfeeding in visible locations so that all parents, whether currently breastfeeding or not, knows that breastfeeding is supported at the center. Children learning and playing in the center should be offered books which depict breastfeeding as natural and normal. When playing with baby dolls, children should be allowed and encouraged to pretend about breastfeeding just as they might about bottle feeding. Siblings and other older children who observe breastfeeding are often interested but should not and usually do not perceive the process as being strange or unnatural. Being a breastfeeding-friendly center will require providing some education to parents as well as staff members. Teachers and parents should, especially, be informed that mothers are welcome to nurse their babies while at the center, which they have a legal right to do. Infant caregivers will need directions for storage and preparation of expressed milk. The handout, Breastfeeding and Childcare: What Moms Can Do, can be used to help educate parents.
One of the best ways to promote and support breastfeeding is to let all your center's families know about laws which protect breastfeeding mothers. Nursing a mother should not be considered unnatural, provocative, or illegal. North Carolina law states that a mother may breastfeed her baby in any public place and specifically prohibits any child care facility from discriminating against a breastfed baby. A breastfeeding mother will more easily sustain her milk supply if she nurses naturally, directly at the breast as much as possible. Encourage moms to nurse at drop-off and pickup. If her workplace is nearby, invite her to visit the center to nurse during the day. Even with your best efforts, mothers' and babies' schedules may not always match up, so offer mothers a private space to pump if necessary. As a small business, a child care center can benefit from supporting its own employees who wish to maintain breastfeeding after returning to work. It may mean that a teacher needs to step out of her classroom every few hours, in which case coverage will need to be provided, but the efforts will pay off in terms of healthier, more loyal employees. Plus, the center will be setting a great example for all of its families. Before transitioning a breastfed infant to childcare, encourage the infant's mother to get him used to bottle feeding expressed milk with another person while she herself continues to breastfeed. Ask the mother about the infant's typical feeding style and pattern. Ask about whether she would like feedings delayed when possible so that she can nurse the baby herself. Be open to letting her call if she is on the way or if she's going to be late. Encourage her to leave a backup supply of frozen milk at the center in case the infant ever takes more than expected or in case she is running late. She may want to leave some milk in smaller portions to be used in case her baby wants more than usual or to satisfy her baby until she arrives.
Local lactation consultants and other supporters of breastfeeding are usually very willing to be a resource to anyone needing lactation support. The local LaLeca League chapter, hospital lactation department, or regional breastfeeding coalition can answer questions and are willing to meet with mothers who need help maintaining breastfeeding. Sometimes one visit with a supportive person knowledgeable about troubleshooting supply issues, sore nipples, or other problems can help a mother maintain breastfeeding for a longer period of time. Maintain a list of these resources and make them available as needed. The website, zipmilk.org, allows a mom to key in her own zip code to locate support in her own area. Another resource could be Partners for Healthy Babies or the Women, Infants, and Children Special Supplemental Nutrition Program, or WIC. There are many resources for breastfeeding mothers. Their most expensive packages go towards breastfeeding mothers. They also may be able to supply qualifying mothers with breast pumps. Clicking on any of the logos that you see will take you to the corresponding website. Committing to breastfeeding support will require staying up to date with the latest recommendations from the medical community, keeping an accurate list of resources, and replenishing posters, books, and other supplies. New staff will require education, and old staff need refreshers. Scientists continue to discover new benefits of breastfeeding and recommendations for storage and handling change with new understanding. Directors and teachers should take advantage of their local resources to keep them informed. Next, watch this video prepared by the Breastfeeding Coalition of Oregon that gives some great pointers on supporting breastfeeding in child care centers.